Hey there internets, I'm Michael and this is Toucan Play That Game with a paid preview of Kill the King from Tompet Games. So what is it? Well, let's look at the box here. We have armies, we've got masses of soldiers here, and then up here in the distance we have this castle. So, not surprising, it is about armies attacking a castle. In fact, it is an asymmetric strategy game whereby one side is attacking the castle and attempting to kill the evil king who must be overthrown. And the other side is the side of the king who want him to live and fight another day and are just trying to hold off long enough until the king can escape. In order to help both sides do this, they have a variety of units that they can utilise, from infantry to catapults, as well as being able to select a specific, unique leader that will give their side a special ability. So why don't we take it to the table and you can see a bit more about exactly what Kill the King is. So once you've decided who's going to be your defending player and your attacking player, they'll then need to hire their armies. So starting with the attacking player, because you always start with the attacking player, they'll choose one unit. So say a catapult, and the defending player chooses a unit, say an archer, and you carry on like this: catapult, archer, cavalry, archer, infantry, archer, infantry, archer, until both players have purchased their full army's worth, which is for the attacker 90 and for the defender 45. So you can find the costs on the board along with summaries of all the stats for the different units. You can find full details in the instruction manual, of course, but as well as summarised on the board, the stats are also summarised on the tokens themselves. And you also get a little arrow telling you where it's facing, so you know where it can attack. Once they've done this, they then pick leaders, which are represented by these little star tokens here. Alternatively, you can just use the recommended starting units given in the rulebook. Then we of course need to deploy our army. So we separate the board so that neither side can see what the other's doing, and then place our units. So for the defender, it's anywhere inside the castle walls here, and for the attacker, anywhere in the first 3 rows. So with the units all placed, we then remove the divider and we can begin play. So the players will take turns, starting with the attacker, to move and then attack until either the attacking player has managed to kill the king, which means that they've managed to get to this door here and attack the king's door, which means they have to roll a 2 or less, and then the door fails its defence. So it has to roll 3 or more. So that would have succeeded, but if it rolled a 6 or a 3, that would have meant the king was dead. That would have ended the game. Otherwise, it will carry on until the end of the 11th turn, at which point the defending player wins. An individual turn will take the form of a player moving his units up to each unit's movement allowance as far as he wants or as little as he wants, including deciding which direction they're going to face, or even if they started at the walls, scaling the walls. Once this is done, you can attack with your units any other enemy in range. So let's say this catapult was here, then they could attack the castle wall here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So they can attack up to 6, between 3 and 6 spaces. So, you know, quite a good little range there. And they have like this blast effect and can destroy the walls. And then to attack, they need to get under their attack value, which is dependent on the space. So in this case, you know, catapults have pretty good attack. Let's say these guys were fighting it out. He needs less than a 3 because he's got an attack of 3. So no. But if he had hit, say he rolled a 3 because he's got attack 3, he needs 3 or less. So we get 3, we hit. But does that mean he's dead? No, he gets a chance to defend. So archers have pretty poor defense, but the defense value depends on where you're attacking. So if he had attacked from the side, the archer would have got no defense. But as it is, he has a defense of 1, so he needs to roll 1 or less. So he failed, meaning he dies. If he'd succeeded, he would have just stayed on the board and been fine. So once a player's done all of their movement and all of their attacks, it's then the end of their turn and play can pass to the next player. That is until the 6th round, because at the 6th round what happens is the defender gets reinforcements, unless the attacker has gotten their leader into the castle walls. If they do that, no reinforcements appear. But more than likely they won't have managed and reinforcements appear. So they get 5 cavalry appear on one side or another of the board to sweep in and attack. Then it's just back to the normal taking turns until you reach the 11th turn or until the king is dead. So that is Kill the King by Tompet Games. Well, what do I think? Well, let's start with the components. So yes, this is a Kickstarter preview, but actually the components wise with these tokens and the board are all actually final quality components, and I was really surprised at how good quality these were, because I'm used to receiving, prototypes that are not particularly good quality. These were actually really nice. They are going to be what the final production quality is. You've got perfectly nice, good quality cardboard components. The board is nice and sturdy. Yeah, all very good. So what about artwork wise? Well, let's start with the box art here, because that really nicely sets the feel for this game with the massing army out the front of the castle, this kind of intimidating, epic image that is a storming of a castle. Works wonders. So what about the rest of the graphic design? Well, this is a preview, and so all of it is kind of subject to change. However, mostly it will be very minor changes, if any. Having spoken to the designer, they're not planning really any changes, but there might be some small changes to tokens or to the board, but nothing that will really change anything I'm talking about. So gameplay wise, this game throws you straight deep into the strategy with the picking of your units, where you're taking turns doing that. It's really deeply strategic. You'll go, oh, I'll take this because I've got this kind of vague plan of how I'm going to attack the castle or how I'm going to defend the castle, and then you see your opponent has bought a catapult, and it's like, what can I do to mitigate that? How can I change my plans? How can I try and counter whatever they're doing? So already you're getting each other's heads, you're going back and forth, you're trying to outwit each other before you've even got your units, just in the buying of your units. And then you keep on with that strategy because you split the board, you secretly place your units. So yes, you know what units each other have, you've been trying to anticipate. Now, where do you put them? How do you utilize what you have bought? So much strategy. And then it switches to the eve of battle, and you must pray. Because when it comes to the actual fighting in this game, you've got all your units placed. Yes, there's still some strategy, but victory and loss in every single attack will come down to the luck of those dice. As battle is, it's a tricky thing. There is so much luck involved there. And in this game, that is true. There is so much strategy in the planning. And, there's that famous quote about a plan only everlasting until the first arrow is flown or some such, till the first blow is struck, maybe. And it's very true in this game. You have that build-up of strategy, and then you go into battle and, oh no, I'd planned on doing this and it failed. But you've still got plenty of choices you're doing each turn. You can try and get round behind people, attack them in the back. You can adjust based on where you think people can reach. There is still plenty of strategic decisions. The replay value on this game is surprisingly large. You see, firstly, you have lots of different units, and then the way you can combine those units and different quantities of various units create an almost infinite number of ways that you can try to attack or to defend. And then, of course, you've got the asymmetric aspect of attacking and defending that increase the replay value. As the attackers, there is this immediate sense of urgency. Time is ticking away on you. You must get inside those walls with your leader before the 6th round, and then you must get to the king and kill him before the 11th round. You feel that urgency. And as the defenders, you have this impending sense of inevitability as your defences are slowly being worn away and chipped away by the superior numbers of the attackers. But then this glimmer of hope appears at the 6th round, potentially, if you've held off well enough, of your reinforcements swinging in from the rear. And yeah, so it creates this very different feel and very different game playing both sides. And adding even more to the replay value, as if it actually needed it, is that you can try different game variations. You know, if you want a shorter game experience, up to like half an hour, you can just do a battle on battle, equal sized armies using half the board, just trying to kill each other's leader. If you want a longer experience, you can get two of these boards, set them up end to end, and you have a two-sided castle being attacked from both sides. You know, there is so much choice there. So my summary and final thoughts: this is a game with good replay value, good component quality, if you like a strategic game, if you like a luck game, because this has both in there and it shifts between them, then you will enjoy this game. The way it shifts between that strategy and luck feels very unusual and not very common in games, so it's definitely something different and interesting for you to try. So I do hope that you've enjoyed this paid preview of Kill the King from Tompet Games. Of course, if you have, please do check out the rest of the videos on the channel, and also do check out their Kickstarter and potentially back it. And also, you know, if you do like the videos on the channel, please do subscribe to this channel and share it with your friends and family. And also take a look at us on social media. You can find us on Facebook and on Twitter. And as always, thanks for watching, and bye for now.